Hi, so this is my video assignment for HTW 318 Winterlude. My name's Alexa, and today I'm going to talk about kind of the pros and cons of the e-cigarettes and what they serve, and kind of just like an overall the do's and don'ts of them, kind of from both like the non-smoker and the smokers type of view. And personally, I can say that I know a lot of my friends use e-cigarettes instead of regular normal cigarettes. A lot of them just do it for the social aspect, and they really just do it to not necessarily be like everybody else, but to be like just kind of, some do it for the nicotine addiction, which will be talked about a little bit, but also they kind of do it just because I guess everyone else is doing it. I guess not necessarily to fit in, but kind of this whole thing nowadays, it's kind of the usual and what people do instead of just going and getting cigarettes from the gas station or from the grocery store or whatever. So first I'm going to talk a little bit about the pros of e-cigarettes and what they kind of appear as. So they kind of appear as a safer alternative for long-term cigarette smokers. So people who want to quit or who want to go from not smoking a cart all the time to like e-cigarettes where they get the same feeling as they would normally do with cigarettes, because they haven't successfully quit smoking cigarettes. Excuse me. E-cigarettes also don't really contain tobacco, or as many other toxins or carcinogens that cause the lung disease and the cancer that cigarettes can also that cigarettes do have and that they could lead to. And they also appear to be like less risky to smokers who like have a mild case of asthma, but also like and they also emit less toxins than aerosols as well. And people, the pros of it for like a smoker's view is they get the same, they feel that they get the same release as they do with the normal cigarettes that they would get with the e-cigarettes. So basically they feel that they can use the e-cigarettes for an alternate use, and they feel that it won't hurt them as much. I know pros for one of my friends' grandmother was she actually smoked all her years and then got cancer and then survived the cancer and was told to stop smoking, but now she smokes e-cigarettes, and she says that it feels the same way. It fulfills the same way that a cigarette would to her. And some of the cons for the cigarettes is that it does contain nicotine, and nicotine is highly, highly addictive. And it could lead to like other nicotine products. So like you can either start at e-cigarette and then go on to a cigarette because of the nicotine levels they increase. It also increases like alcohol use. The other con is they have like in e-cigarettes they have heavy metal and different particles from the different type of like things that create the machine to work or like the thing. And once again, like the nicotine, it leads to damage to the nerves, the cardiovascular, the respiratory system, cancerous tumors like brain and lung development during like fetal development for those who like smoke e-cigarettes during pregnancy or like. And then they include liquids to unintentional poisoning in children. Actually, and another thing that just came to my head that I read in an article and then also in our textbook was that e-cigarettes, you don't, like when you smoke a cigarette, you really inhale and it goes all the way into your lungs. But with e-cigarettes, you just inhale and you puff it out and it's just water vapor. That's what people say. But when you have the nicotine and like the certain stuff in it, that's a pro. That's what I just said is a pro for people who do smoke for them. But the negatives also is that the nicotine has stuff in it and the toxins from the certain cartridges and stuff. And they also increase like other burns and stuff in your throat because of how much nicotine you have in it or something. And they do not reliably reduce cigarette smoking because, like I said, with the nicotine, like you could want to start from an e-cigarette and then go on to a cigarette, which the tobacco and nicotine increase heavily. So those are just kind of really the pros and cons. The pros from a smoker side is like it helps them reduce not wanting to smoke a cigarette, but on the con side, like it could also lead to more cigarettes as well. So that's really the pros and cons, and all of this is from the textbook as well. So thank you.